moving to some other firm, and they insisted me to take on this course because, and I don't know how in India, but mostly in US or UK, we got good opportunities on Workday. I mean, that's what he was saying. Actually, he works for Deloitte before, and he's moving to some other firm now. And yeah, so before I was learning Selenium, and I mean, I did apply for a couple of job interviews though. I didn't went through, but I was not that successful because I don't have much experience on site. I mean, and also I couldn't get any references basically. So I just stuck with my own sort of active.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not a problem. So whatever your background you have, so this would be a different field for you. It's easy. You'll get there. So not a problem.
Okay.
So anyone else like just wanted to, before I start, like to just give a brief introduction about yourself, like what's your background? Hello? So basically I just like this session would be a bit interactive, more like, if we just come to know more about each other, so it will be like a better way we can communicate, and then we can finish this. So anyone else? So I see so many here. Uday, Mahima, Anil. So no one wants to tell me their background. It's fine. So okay, Ramna, let's start. It's a good to know about you. So whatever your background, it's fine. It doesn't matter with Workday. So it's a completely different new tool.
Hello?
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 Hi, Rahul?
Yes, Mahima. Yes, Mahima. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was because of the noise that I was muted, but well, I don't have any IT background. I did my master's in financial management, and I have a certificate graduate course in human resource management. Again, I haven't done much of the work. I worked as an accountant and an administrative manager for about 3 years in a company, and that's all about me.
That's cool. So you have a good HR background then, so it will be very good, easy for you in Workday. That's good to know about you, Mahima. So anyone else? Okay. So I just request everyone to mute, please, and if you have any questions in between, I'll just give a pause. You can ask me. Okay, thanks. So Workday. So Workday, it's an ERP tool. Now it's like cloud computing. It's a new next generation of an ERP. Every ERP is looking for a cloud. So what exactly cloud might be? Anyone have any idea what cloud it might be? Any of ERP knowledge? Anyone? Ramna, Mahima, anyone? So ERP, do you know what ERP means?
No.
It's enterprise resource planning, right?
Yes, correct. So yes, enterprise resource planning. What exactly would you define? What exactly would define ERP might be? So no problem. ERP is something like which enterprise. It's an organization where it plans its current resources to develop a strategic environment, right? Hello?
Hello? Do you want me to mute?
It's fine, like if I just, anyone could speak back. I don't know whether I'm audible or not.
Okay.
So, okay. ERP. So ERP is like it's a present whatever the resources they have. It's like a strategic planning, implementing an ERP tools such as SAP, PeopleSoft, Oracle. There are plenty of ERP tools in the current market. So it was like older traditional systems, we could say. Now the future, next generation would be the cloud computing. What exactly a cloud computing would be? It's an internet-based computing where virtual shared servers provide software infrastructure, platform, and other resources and hosting to customers. So why is it necessary now? I mean, why the traditional ERP systems is being moved into cloud computing? Previously, we could say ERP. Previously, we could say ERP, they have a physical servers maintained and then loads of maintenance involved and technical consultants involved to maintain a database consultants and all. If you consider a cloud computing, there is a less cost involved. It's very less maintenance and no need of any physical servers. Everything is maintained in a web. The only thing you need to have, it's an internet. So everything works. It's so easy. Like every organization, they plan for a. Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
Am I audible? I think I'm getting a background noise. Hello.
No, I was already unmuted. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I was already muted by you.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this cloud computing would be the next generation. That's the reason why the current organizations, they're planning to move into cloud. So Workday, it's an ERP tool. It has a root back to ERP. The plenty of ERPs they're considering to move into cloud. For example, it would be an SAP SuccessFactors. SuccessFactors is one of the cloud computing tool developed by SAP. So Workday has its background coming from PeopleSoft. So anyone having a technical knowledge or any IT knowledge would come into, they might understand what exactly PeopleSoft and this could exactly mean. So I hope you people might know what exactly a cloud, you call it. A better example would be a Gmail or Google. It's in your daily use. How you use your Google Docs, Google Excel over the internet. You don't need to download on your servers, physical servers. You can edit it online, save it online, and then you can share across online. And then there's a lot more security involved, right? Yeah. So the benefits of cloud computing would be a reduction, as I was speaking earlier, with the reduction in upfront capital expenditure on hardware and software development. There is no extra software in developed technical consultants, physical servers. You don't need to maintain anything. And location independence. Why is it called location independence? It can be accessed anywhere. Correct. It can be accessed anywhere. Until you have an internet connection, it goes good. And quick deployment, easy for the production, and it is much faster than previous traditional ERP systems. Allows the enterprise to focus on its core business. For example, if you consider HCM implementation, the clients could focus only on the HCM core process instead of understanding the technical stuff, how to integrate, how these integrations consist between the legacy system and the Workday. Increase security at a much lesser cost. Obviously, a cloud has a much secured, enabled one. And then easy to maintain, very less maintenance involved in cloud computing. So, so far, anyone having any queries regarding cloud computing, what exactly it means? You can just go through my slide and I'll just give a pause here. If you have any queries regarding cloud computing, please let me know.
Rahul, actually, where is this all data stored actually? I mean, you said that it is virtually shared, but
yeah,
it should be saved somewhere, isn't it? So.
Correct. So there will be virtual providers. So, for example, you consider your Gmail, right?
Yeah.
You have your emails and all everything in your Gmail. So where do you expect them to be saved? It has to be saved somewhere, right?
Somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is only virtual providers where they can give you an access. So obviously it's a Workday. If it is Workday, it will be having a virtual providers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, this Workday is like a connectivity to the, I mean, virtual connection from the database to the user. I mean,
yes.
I'm not sure.
It's like, it's not like we will be maintaining a database. As I was saying it earlier, we don't have any physical servers maintained. So Workday is completely internet, web-based service. We don't maintain, we don't have anything, any user interface installed on our computer. We just log in as you're logging into a Gmail. We just log in, and then even it can be end user. He will be just using it on the internet. Even it is the implementation, he will log in through the web. Everything is done through the internet.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Just let me go to the next slide. So, human resource management system. So, when we are speaking about human resource management system, what exactly it might mean? So, this course will mainly consider, will speak about human capital management, Workday HCM. So, I'll be focusing mainly on the human resource management system here in Workday. So, anyone want to share anything? What exactly human resource management system would be?
No idea.
Mahima? HRMS and HCM. HCM, it's a new term. We call it as human capital management, where e-recruitment, everything is involved. HRMS, it's an entire system which holds all the different functions at one place. HCM would be a part of HRMS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the slide itself, I mentioned 3 points here. It would be a one-stop shop that combines all human resource functions. It has HRMS, obviously has different functional areas. For example, time management, payroll, benefits, talent management. There are different functional areas in human resource management. So all these functional areas will sit in one place, and the whole system would be a human resource management system. So this covers all the aspects of a person from hire to retiree. It can be termination included as well, and then it can be a change job, promotion, any business process from start to end. It would be in human resource management. You will be working in a human resource management system. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Yeah. So these are some of the functional areas for the HR system. As I was saying earlier: time and labor, learning management, payroll, self-service, health and safety, workforce administration, benefits, performance management. We will not go in depth over the functional areas. In coming to Workday HCM, we will know how to configure this or customize these functional areas by integrating with the client system. So Workday HCM, what we exactly do in Workday HCM? We will not override their current HRMS system, but we will customize their HRMS system into Workday. So it's like moving their current system, their legacy system, into Workday system.
According to the requirement.
Yes, according to the client. If it's not like we will not change their system, but we will customize their system.
Yeah.
So it's like we are increasing their efficiency, how exactly their HRMS will be functioning.
Okay.
Okay. So this is one basic example of higher process. This might not be the same, exactly the same. Okay. So this might not be exactly the same. It differs from client to client. This will be a small workflow from recruiting and identifying staffing needs to hiring a candidate in an organization. So this entire process we call in Workday as a business process. Whatever you see, it's a business process in Workday HCM. So why Workday? We have different tools. As I was saying earlier regarding SAP. SAP is the legend ERP, right? It's the biggest. And then it's very already trusted ERP tool for different organizations. So you might have a question, why instead of having SAP, why the people would want to move into Workday? So the reason would be it's a cloud computing tool. In the cloud computing, Workday has been the leading ERP. And we call Workday as a software as a service solutions. Software as a why software as a service? Anyone could define software as a service? Anyone could give an example? Okay, software as a service is nothing but it's a software at the same time providing a service in the same. And the same example I would give you again. It's a Google, Gmail, Yahoo. All these things. That's a software. But these are softwares maintained on a web-based. These provide a service at the same time. So Workday is similar to that. That's why it's called as a software as a service. Basically, Workday has its roots back to PeopleSoft. Dave Duffield is the founder of Workday, who founded PeopleSoft in 1987, and Anil Bushri is one of the founder of Workday as well. So why Workday? The SAP success factors, and then why Workday? Compared to SAP success factors, Workday is more innovative and faster and simpler. You don't need to have any technical background. Anyone with no knowledge in IT, no human resource background, anyone can work on Workday. It's so simpler, and then it's very faster and smarter. It's like similar to using your Facebook. How do you log in? How do you search for friends, chat? Everything is similar. It's actually designed for the way you work. This exactly why Workday. We'll be speaking in terms of a client. So why client would prefer Workday than compared to other ERP tools? So these would be the key points: simpler, faster, and smarter. Designed for the way you work. It's because it's simple, built-in cloud computing tool, and then it has mobile revolution. Why mobile revolution? Because people now everyone wants to access their time or anything through their mobile. Very few people who you see accessing, holding their laptops or sitting in front of their desks. Right. Everyone iPhone, iCloud. You might have heard about iCloud.
Yeah.
See, it's a similar. So it has everyone's on the same page. Why is it called everyone's on the same page? It's because every year, based on the brainstorms, the softwares keep on developing. They have a new patches coming in, and they keep on. They try to in this competitive world, if in order to match the other competitor, they have to upgrade themselves. Before 2 years back it was Workday 19, and currently the new version is W23, Workday 23. So there are lots more fields added, and then these fields are added in order to make much easier for the implementer as well as the end user, which would be the client, to use Workday very easily. They can use it on the fingertips. Less complexity to manage. Unified platform approaches removes the complexity, eliminating the need for separate application and data integration infrastructure between applications. So it's an unified platform approach. Why do we say unified platform? Because it doesn't have a different connectivities. No need to integrate for different parts of the system. Everything is implemented at one place. And then so obviously integration would be very easy to connect with the legacy system. There are different Workday modules. As I was saying, Workday modules, in the sense we speak, there are two modules actually. Workday will be implementing HCM and finance. So if you speak about functional areas, again those will be different topics. So we will be speaking about main HCM core, how they will be configured in a Workday system, how they can connect to different functional areas, and then connect to the third-party systems, which would be legacy systems. So people who are non-IT background, don't get confused what might be legacy system. Legacy system is nothing but the system which the client is maintaining all the data in their servers. So this would be Workday system architecture. So I was speaking about cloud, right? And then you might be like, if you see in the picture, XML in, XML out, XML in and XML out for the integration and for the users. So where do we, so anyone having IT background? No one, right? No one, it's fine. So normally why XML we say is any service, anything in the web, it's not XML. XML in the service. If you see, if you open any internet browser or anything, if you just go for it as source and then see, the source content will be in XML format. So it's obviously like the web will read all the data in XML format. So don't get frightened like, okay, I don't have any IT background, so what do I do with the XML? We don't need to do any XML, no need to learn XML. Whatever we do is a simple English. What the data will be converted into XML, and then it will be pulled out in a data format itself. So here this would be like a cloud, where we call it the object management services. Whatever we see in Workday, we speak about objects. It can be a name, a person, employee ID, everything. Whatever we configure in a Workday, it is called as an object. So these would be object management services. Whatever logical calculations, security and assignments, integrations, how do you communicate to outside, outbound and inbounds, on how the data is maintained in the memory. These things, everything we speak on the basis of an object. This is a replication of our Workday system architecture. This would be integration systems. Integrating system is something which we will be again connecting to a third-party system, which would be a legacy system. UI is nothing but user interface. So I'll show you how it might look, the tenant. And ESB is nothing but enterprise service builder. It's a connectivity. It's nothing but integration server. Okay. Yep. So the key product areas in Workday Human Resource Management would be the organization management, compensation management, absence, employee self-service, and managerial self-service. So here, if we are speaking mainly, we will not be speaking about absence management here. And employee self-service and manager service will come under the end users part. Mainly this organization management we will start with the organization management, and then we'll speak more about how they configured, how the staffing is done, how the jobs and profiles this has been done, and compensation. And compensation management is nothing but we speak about the grades, profiles, salaries, how they are being assigned to a person while doing hiring, and how they are being based on location wise. Okay, so am I going too fast or any? So I'll pause here if you have anything to ask me.
Fine.
Fine, right.
One question. I mean, said SAP is not a cloud computing, is it? I mean, it's
SAP. SAP is not. Yeah. Yes. No. SAP is not a cloud computing. It's a physical server. You need to maintain a landscape. You need to maintain a landscape. If you want to install on your desktop, you need to have a user interface already. You need to have a user interface installed, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So there is no user interface you will install on your physical servers. That's what I was saying. You will not access anything from your physically. You will be only. It's like how you open your Gmail online. It's a similar way you connect to Workday. I'll show you the tenant in a while how it might look.
Okay.
So coming to the core structure, what we exactly will be speaking, as I said, we will be mainly focusing on the HCM core part, not the functional areas. Functional area part will be a different sessions again. Mainly will be how Workday HCM will be configured in the Workday system and what are the different transactions involved in configuring these things, how they are maintained with the legacy systems. So here the number of chapters 1 to 10. So the first chapter has a core concepts and navigation basics where you will be going through. I'll just go ahead. I'll show you. So core concepts, which as I was saying, we'll speaking about core concept. What are the what are the organization? What is an organization management, compensation management? Similar to that, like there are different organizations and times how they are set up. These things will be covering in. It's like a brief. Not in detail, but it's a brief. We'll be speaking about the core concepts. Business objects, I'll give you just brief what it might be exactly. Business objects, custom labels, and basic navigation. We'll be going through how navigating through the tenant. So sorry. So what do we do in the functional part? The functional part is actually it's like a client requirement gathering. So we understand their business. So normally a client comes to Workday to get a Workday implemented in their system. So we have to, being a functional guy, we have to study their business processes, how the entire process is being run, and then that's how we bring the business processes. We do give them a workflow chart, as I was showing you before, hire processes, something similar to that. There might be different business processes, and then how we will replicate them in the HCM core. So mainly if you don't have the HCM core concepts, requirement gathering, client requirements, I can give you an examples here in the functional. But you will be mainly focusing on how do you configure, how do you design an organization structure, how do you hire, how do you do the business processes, how do you, it's like from end to end. It's like mainly you should know, you will be learning the configuration part. Is that answer your question? This course includes HCM functional concepts and HCM core practical. So you will be configuring mostly. I'll just go through all the slides, and then you will understand by end of the slides like what exactly we'll be doing in this Workday HCM. and I'll just go through all chapters slowly. And organizations in Workday. So this would be chapter. This would be these things will be covering. So basically, if you are speaking about Workday, HCM technical concepts, we will be not speaking any technical concept. Technical will come into integration. We will be speaking about only HCM functional. Reports, you will see reports here, but not in depth as integration consultant will be doing it. You will know, you will run advanced custom reports. So is that answers your question? Is it Sue? Yes. Okay. So organization types, the different terminology, it will be different from organization to organization. I mean, from software ERP tool to different ERP tool. So here in Workday, it's very simpler to remember because it resembles the exact same naming convention to the current scenarios, how they will be used in a current organization. So in organization chapter 2, we will speak about organization type, what are the different organization types that we create in a Workday, and then what are supervisory organizations, reorganization. These things I'll give you in brief depth, and then how they are created in a Workday. We will have an 1 to 2 days of class or 2 hours of class, and I'll show you practically on the tenant how these been constructed over the tenant. So basically organizations, these are the main important chapter, because organizations will rule the entire Workday HCM. Without organizations, there is nothing, no other transactions can be done. Coming to staffing models, this is a bit small topic, but so just going through the slide itself, you would understand what it exactly means. So here we'll be speaking position management, headcount management, job management. So based on these type of staffing models, we hire people into different organizations. Okay. So jobs and positions, in this chapter we'll be speaking about job profiles. I didn't mention here, we'll be speaking about job classifications and job family groups, how job profiles comes from a job classification. These differences we'll be speaking about, and how are they related with the positions. Jobs are different, positions are different. How they define a position, and then how does a position can be created. These things and all we'll be covering in this chapter. So job profiles and compensation grades, compensation management is a different topic again, but while creating job profiles, how these are related to compensation grades. We speak about management level hierarchies, how the hierarchies are created in this. So it's mainly jobs and positions, how positions are being created, and what how to edit a position. So here it's like create position, it's not a simple small task, there is a business process also involved. And here again, I just wanted to say it's again client specific. From client to client it varies. Business process, they might have routing restrictions. Hello, I'm just having a background noise again. Okay, compensation. In this compensation, we speak about compensation grades, grade profiles, and how the compensation plans are designed based on the profiles. It's nothing but, for example, if you see executive level, they have a different salary range when compared to a non-management level. Right. So based on these kind of scenarios, we create a compensation grades, compensation plans, compensation packages. And compensation eligibility rules are nothing but which defines what kind of an executive level the person or the employee is, and if he is a non-management, he should get this kind of a salary or a package. So we speak about all compensation in this compensation chapter. Security groups is a different topic again. So without security groups, like it's like assigning role-based security groups, user-based security groups, job-based security groups. So we have a manager. It's again a different terminology in Workday. If you say security, it's a different meaning again. So I just want every one of you just consider this as a new topic and then only think about the Workday term when you just come into this chapter. So defining business process, so each and everything, whatever it's been done, it's like, for example, hire to retiree, it's a business process. Onboarding would be a different process. Promotion would be a different process. All these are termed as a business process. So these kind of business process based on the workflow, how they are defined in the client environment, we define here in Workday. These things will be covering and how are they created, how they can be edited, and what scenarios, what kind of securities we can give, how the condition rules are maintained, and if an employee being hired, the notification should be sent to any employee, say for example a welcome note, and a notification should be sent to a manager saying this person has been hired into the system. These kind of notifications, these kind of business process will be defining in this chapter. So transactions in Workday, when you come to till chapter 7, you will be covering almost all the transactions while we are creating the organization, staffing, and different business processes. These involve different kinds of transactions. So mostly all the transactions while we do the practical sessions, I'll be showing you over the tenant, these will be covered, and which are not covered we will be discussing in this transactions in Workday chapter 8. So chapter 9 here, Sue, it's your question. We'll be speaking about reports, report types, what are different report types, what is a standard report, how does a custom report comes, and then what are the various, how can we create a custom report, and then how do we share. We'll speak about data sources, business objects in depth here rather than chapter 1, how a report writer works. So this Iloads, it's again a new topic. We will be speaking about the concept here, how Iloads will work. So, hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I have a question?
No.
Okay. So Iloads, here we speak about Iloads. Iloads is nothing but it's a tool where how we push data into Workday system. So it's like if it is a 10 or 15 employees.
Hi Rahul.
Yes, who am I speaking to?
I am Sujata. Sue.
Yes, Sujata. Yes, just go ahead.
Just now you said about reports, right?
Yes.
May I know what is the difference between functional reports or technical reports? Is there any terminologies there like there, or just reports? Either it is functional or technical?
Reports will be considered both the same in technical wise and the functional wise. Technical wise is more involved with the more calculated fields when you speak about their data flow and these things and all. Here functional aspects will speak about, for example, if you hire to, if 50 members of employees are hired into the system.
Okay.
Yes, I just echo, I don't know. Hello?
I think it's clear now. Oh no.
Yeah. Can you hear me, right? I'm not echoing. Someone just please mute if they're not speaking. Yeah. Okay. So it's a functional report. If, for example, if you hire 25 to 50 people into the system, and then they have based on different genders, and they have different date of birth, and then you wanted to generate a report. So you wanted to see who, how many are there in the system, who is a female and the male. Based on their genders, you can generate a report. These would define a functional reports. These are different. Whereas if you speak about technical report, how the workflow is done behind the scenes, what are the logics are done, these again we will not speak here. Technical reports are completely different. So I hope I answered your question, Sujata. Okay, cool. So coming to the Iloads. Iloads is nothing but a tool where we push all the data, the client data, from an external source to the inbound into the Workday system. So here we speak exactly, I'll show you an example when we come to this Iloads, how exactly an Iload look. Iloads is, it's like, don't think it might be a different tool, maybe a technical tool, how to use this. It's basic Excel. If you know an Excel, how to use it, Iloads is similar to an Excel. So I hope everyone might be a bit intermediate level in Excel. So here I'll show, when we come to this chapter, this is how, if it is like 10, I was saying earlier, if you are speaking about 10 to 15 people or 20 people, if you want to hire into the system, you can go ahead and then you can do it from the front end on the system itself, I mean on online itself. But if it is 10,000 people or 20,000 people in an organization, how do you do it? It's highly impossible to do it from the front end. There should be something to push the data into the Workday system, right? That's how we use Excel, these Iloads, to push the data, and then how the data will be extracted from the Workday system, and then what is the difference between the foundation data and master data, and what are the different implementation suites. These things and all we will be covering in Iload when we come to this Iloads chapter. So that's all from my end, and so this is how a tenant might look. This is exactly this is how a tenant might look, and when we cover the first chapter, I will be going through how a navigation is done and transactions to go from one end to another end. So in first chapter I was speaking objects. Whatever you see in the screen, it's an object. It has unrelated objects again. Everything is hyperlinked. You can go from one link to another link. Whichever is clickable, that has a related object under that. So these things we'll cover in depth. I just wanted to show you how a tenant looks, and why I was saying it's similar to Facebook, and then there is no technical words involved, there is no new terms used. It's simple. If I just wanted to create an organization, just I type create supervisory organization, and then it just automatically gives what I have to type in. So this is also one kind of transaction, create supervisory organization, create position. You will see when we go simultaneously one by one, chapter by chapter. So that's it from me. So anyone having any queries regarding the course structure or anything on Workday, so I'll just pause here, just go ahead, ask me.
What is the difference between inbound and outbound things?
Where this one? Hello?
Yes. No, I'm not asking about XML inbound, not XML outbound. I'm just asking Workday, in Workday, I know there is some difference between inbound and outbound. Inbound something you can share something.
So inbound is nothing but which we push the data in through some kind of tools. It can be Iloads and then EIBs. EIBs are another tool which is similar to an Iload, but it's much faster than Iload. So we use these kind of different tools when we push the data from the client, whatever we received, into the Workday system. That would be an inbound. When we extract the same thing configured, so that it's a simple outbound. It's like workflow. It defines a workflow. So mainly inbound and outbound we speak in the integration part, but we will not normally use here. Normally mainly inbound here. So is that clear?
Yes, Rahul. And one more thing is for the practical thing, I mean, do I get the access for the practical?
No, sorry to say this. It's like a tenant is an individual, so you don't get an access to the tenant. But I'm working with the organizer, like how to give an access to the tenant. Just like if you have, I can give my desktop access so that you can get 20 minutes or 30 minutes. But I'll be here and then I'll be guiding you to go through from each transactions. But tenant access is not provided.
I'm not understanding what is tenant access and.
Sorry, so it's a word we normally use. Tenant is nothing but what I've showed you. This is nothing but tenant. This is nothing but tenant where we exactly use everything, all the transactions where we maintain. So we call it as a tenant.
So you can able to give the tenant access, not the full access, right?
No, tenant. I call this whole thing as a tenant. So where I exactly. Sorry, I'm echoing. Can anyone mute there? Who's? Yeah. So this the whole thing. Whatever you see, the place where we work, where we implement or configure, customize, whatever the transactions we do in Workday, this itself we call as a tenant. So similar like how you call as a ERP tool SAP like Workday. It's a different naming convention. I call this one as a, instead of saying a tool, I call the place where we work, it's a different naming convention. That's how we call in Workday. It's a tenant, the place where we work. Hello? I hope. Okay. Thanks. So anyone else, any questions? So want to know more, anything? My introduction? Okay, cool. I'm Rahul. I've already have 2 years of experience in Workday implementation. I've worked on different conversion cycles end to end, and then I've involved in HCM configurations as well. So that's how I can't give my organization name. So anything else? Prior to this Workday experience, I had 3 years of SAP experience. I worked in a SAP HCM configuration, HCM functional side. So that really helped me. It's not like I just wanted to move into a different tool. I just like Workday, so that's how I came into Workday. It's a simple, very quite easy tool anyone could access to. So I find much easier than SAP. How long the project lasts? It depends. It actually depends from client to client again. It depends on the project phases. How do you create it depends again. Some projects last only 3 months. Some projects might finish in 2 months. It depends again on the client. Some projects 10 months, 1 year. And if you consider the traditional implementation, traditional projects like ERP big implementations, they have different phases involving like 2 years, 3 years of project implementation. Coming to Workday, as I was speaking earlier, it's very easy, simpler and faster, innovative tool. This implementation, it has very quick deployment. So the implementation process it's cut down 2 months. So anyone, I think.
Rahul.
Yes, yes, Rahul.
Do you have any similar technologies? I mean, same like Workday. Do we use similar?
Yeah.
Similar technologies.
Similar technology in the sense, that's what I was saying, right? All the ERPs, they're trying to move into cloud now. That's how SAP brought success factors. If you have any ERP just knowledge, you might know what the success factors. It's like that's how the success factors, but the same look and feel, the same kind of easiness you will not find in any other tool comparing to Workday. So right now it's like success factors and Workday, they are exactly in the market now, but Workday is leading.
Yeah.
How successful is success factor?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Ramna. Yeah.
I mean, we use SAP as well. I mean, but I saw sometimes success factor logo on the top.
Yeah.
But I really don't know that this is.
Yeah, it's nothing but like even SAP, to catch up with the competitive market. So every ERP is moving into cloud tool now. So that's how SAP bought success factors. I would not say. So Anil, just answering your question as well at the same time. I would not say success factors would not be successful right now, but SAP, it's a legend. It's a very big ERP. It has a very big market. They can come easily. But right now, Workday, it's completely success factors is nowhere to Workday. I've seen myself success factors. The look, feel, the way you work, it's not much easier compared to Workday. So that's it for now. So if you have any queries, just please let me know. I'll just wait for 5 more minutes and we'll just wrap up the session. So it's like I know I might have rushed some things, but when you just actually start the course structure, when we actually go into the course, you will learn a lot than what I explained right now. When you start coming into Workday, definitely you will love it. How long would be the course? It depends again. I would say 2 to 3 weeks, and the maximum is 3 weeks.
Okay, so